Well, the left has done it again, especially, more specifically, leftist celebrities. Now, a few days ago, Kathy Griffin took to Twitter and said basically, F you, Melanie. Now, you may be wondering, who's Melanie? Well, obviously, Melanie was supposed to be referring to Melania Trump. This was over her husband's immigration policy. Which, by the way, he said today he wasn't going to separate families. Oops. And then Kathy Griffin decided to parrot another leftist comedian. She called Melania a feckless piece of shh. Now, of course, Kathy Griffin, she keeps spinning down into the hole of irrelevance, so she has to keep her name out there somehow. How's all those little acting gigs working out for you there, Kathy? Oops, not getting any? Oh, maybe you're not getting any in another area. Oh! And by the way, what is it about Republicans and conservatives sharing photos of themselves and their children that triggers these loony leftists? The latest example is a very non-aptly named celebrity named John Legend. Now, he was given this appellation years ago. It's not his real name, by the way. By someone who thought he was legendary, I suppose. Well, House Speaker Paul Ryan tweeted out a photo of himself and his children for Father's Day. And this triggered Mr. Legend to say, F you, seriously, F you, Paul Ryan. It was in reference to the quote-unquote tone-deaf immigration policy from President Trump. I guess Paul Ryan's not doing enough to quote-unquote stop President Trump. But hey, Melania's a big girl and Paul Ryan's a big boy. They can handle themselves. And these are just examples of the left becoming very unhinged. But the tweet that was released today went beyond anything that Kathy Griffin, Samantha Bee, or John Legend ever said in a Twitter rant, or anything Robert De Niro said at the Tony Awards. Washed-up actor Peter Fonda, whose finest moment was Easy Rider, by the way, tweeted out that Barron Trump should be ripped out of his parents' arms and put in a cage with pedophiles. Oh, and that Melania should stand up to her a-hole of a husband. And Fonda said that 90 million Americans are going to take to the streets and they're going to rip Barron Trump out of his parents' hands. Well, Melania, rightly so, called the Secret Service on Peter Fonda. So I have a feeling they're going to be knocking on his door any day now. Thing is, the left needs to understand they have the right to freedom of speech. That's one thing. It's one thing to actually say things and use rhetoric against conservatives. But it's quite another thing to make a threat, which is what Peter Fonda did. And more specifically, against the president's 12-year-old son. If you want to argue that Melania is fair game and the president is fair game, that anybody who is involved directly in politics is fair game, hey, I'm right along with you. But leave the kids out of it. The left, they have no respect for the kids. They bring the kids right into these issues. The kids that have nothing to do with this. And to say that Barron Trump should be ripped out of his parents' arms and put in a cage filled with pedophiles, that's disgusting. Henry Fonda must be turning over in his grave right now thinking, what in the world is wrong with my children? I mean, after all, you had Hanoi Jane, who was a traitor to her country, whom I have heard that the late Colonel Billy Sunday, I think that was his name. Okay, I got the name wrong. It was Colonel Bud Day. He said that if he'd had the opportunity, he would have strangled that witch, but he didn't say which, right in front of his eyes, and he wouldn't have felt bad about it once. He said, I would have gone to jail for strangling Jane Fonda. Now, do I advocate violence against even leftists? No. But when you have somebody as traitorous as Jane Fonda was, I can kind of understand it. But yes, I think Peter Fonda does need to be investigated by the Secret Service. Maybe serve a little bit of jail time. Sorry, swatting at a mosquito. That might actually humble him a little bit, although I doubt it. So once again, I turn to you, the viewers. What do you guys think? Would this be considered seditious speech? Or at least a threat to the first family? Or is it just another example of the left writing checks that their rear ends can't cash? Comment below, give this video a thumbs up, and if you have not already done so, subscribe. Now we'll catch you guys later. Y'all be good or be good at it, and peace!